Hello there, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for joining me. Today let me share with you the 5 worst handbags that I have ever bought. The 5 bags that have been my biggest luxury mistakes, regrets, hated them, didn't work. Worst bags ever. This video was inspired by my good friend over at Wild Unfiltered, Deb. I will link her channel down below in the description box. Do check her out. She has a similar video that she put out recently, and I also want to share with you my wardrobe update for the fall winter season of 2023, and those are the clothes I am wearing today. You will have seen S.DEER in my previous videos. One of the biggest things for me is I just feel good in them. They make me feel good and confident in myself, and I think that's probably one of the most important things that a clothing brand can do for me. If you do however get a piece and you get it wrong and it doesn't work and it doesn't look the way you thought it should, they do offer 30-day returns with a full refund, and they do ship worldwide. They are a really good option for you to upgrade your wardrobe with fashionable stylish pieces at a really good affordable price. And the first is this beautiful grey cozy autumn jumper. I have nothing on underneath this. It's so soft. It feels great against my skin. I love that it's oversized. I love this look for fall and winter, and this is, I think, going to be one of my favorite pieces that they have sent me. I just love it. I'm wearing it with black trousers that they also sent, which I think are fabulous. I'll show you videos so as you can see them on, and they're on with the other items that I'm trying on. They're so comfortable. I'm wearing them already. They look stylish. They could be upgraded to go dressy. I could wear them casual. They have pockets on the side. I've picked ones with a little bit of neon because I want my personality to stay whenever I'm wearing clothes, and I like things that are a little bit out there. They have cuffed bottoms. I can wear them with my flat chunky boots. I can wear them with my heels. Love them, so comfortable, and again, I feel good in them. You'll also see them when I try them on with this beautiful winter coat that they have sent me, and this one when I saw it on their website that has this shiny fabric. I don't even know how to describe this to you, but it just gives one of these blanket type coats something extra in my opinion. I also really liked the sign on the side of it. I like the look of that. 2 other pieces of knitwear. This one is another big cozy chunky charcoal grey jumper. I have this on with these trousers. It's fab. I just love it. It's so comfortable, so cozy, such a good piece of knitwear. Pretty sure it's a large. I always like these type of jumpers to be a little bit oversized. And then for a slightly more neater look, I went for this, and I love this. This has got a sparkle through it, which is I just love this very, very much. I think I can picture this. What I picture this in is the v-neck of this being a tighter cut with black shorts, black chunky tights for winter, black chunky boots, and my big black coat over it. And I see myself at the Christmas market already. I just think it's beautiful. I have it on with these black trousers as well and a heel, and it really works with that look. And then I also got a more tailored jacket, and this is much lighter. This is either for a night out over an outfit, but it's very light, so maybe not winter. This for me is, if you know my day job, I work in a corporate environment. I will be wearing this to work a lot, and one of the reasons this will work really well for me in the winter is I don't like a heavy suit jacket and a heavy coat over it. This will give me the option to have a suit jacket look over my outfit, which I have to have on for work, and then also have a coat. It does have this detail on the sleeve to make it that little bit more interesting than a normal jacket. I'm going to leave all of their details below for you in the description box. I will leave you the links to what I have ordered, so check them out if you're looking for any updates to your wardrobe, and I will put everything down below in the description box, so go through those links to make sure you get the best possible price, and I will put my discount code down below for you and all of the details that you need. Okay, the 5 worst bags I have ever bought. Number 1 is the Chloe Marcy bag. Now, I know this bag is still popular, but I bought this bag before I knew myself. I bought this bag in black leather because I thought that was sensible, and I thought that was a good option, and I thought I would wear it to work, and it would have been a good work option. But I bought this bag whenever I couldn't really afford to do it. I bought it on a credit card. I paid the full amount on credit. I, at that point, already had credit cards up to my ears for daily living expenses. I had no business to be buying designer handbags on a credit card, but I saw it and I loved it, and I impulsively bought it, And I always regretted it because the bag always, to me, represented a mistake, and it represented a really foolish financial decision, and I knew I couldn't afford it, and I knew I was paying it monthly on top of everything else that I was paying. It was black, so it was a work bag for me. I'd put myself into that debt for a work bag. I didn't really enjoy wearing it at the weekends because it was black, and that is not where I generally go when I want a fun handbag. Also, I had the small version in this. It didn't fit as much as I thought, and that is not a problem for me with my weekend bags, but if you know my work life, I use my Neverfull. So it was a problem for during the day use for work. It just didn't carry everything that I needed to do. But I think, to be honest, I never give that bag a chance, and I regretted it, and it was a worse purchase immediately because of how I bought it. Now, I'm not saying for everybody you shouldn't buy bags on credit cards. You have to work in your own financial situation, but for me, I was in a lot of debt. I wasn't earning an awful lot of money. I was struggling to pay the debt that I already had, and I went and put a designer handbag on top of that. So the bag was always tainted from day one, and it was one of the worst purchases I've ever made ever, because it never had a chance. It was always in my mind that this was foolish and I couldn't afford it, and I was struggling to pay for it. And what was I thinking? Number 2 is a more recent purchase, and it is the Chanel Deauville, and this bag mocked me. It mocked me. I got this bag home. I bought it because I got caught up on Instagram, and I had the pink version with the glitter thread through it, and it was beautiful. On Instagram, on an Instagram life, it was beautiful. By the pool, in the sun, in the sparkle, it was stunning. And I decided that I just wanted it. I didn't think it through. I didn't think what I would use it for. I didn't think about the size of it. I didn't think about my lifestyle. I didn't think about the fact that I use my Neverfull to work on repeat. If I had thought about that, I would have realised my Neverfull gets thrown on the floor, gets thrown in the coffee shop, gets thrown in boardrooms, meeting rooms, office spaces, does not get looked after to the best of my ability. And here was me introducing a large tote in a very light pink fabric. What was I thinking? And I throw everything into that Neverfull. Have you seen the inside of it? Thank goodness for the liner. It was never going to work. And I thought, oh, I'll swap out of them. I never swap out of my work bag. Oh, I'll rotate them. I never rotate my work bag. Oh, I'll use it when I'm living my fantasy life that I've talked about in this channel a lot, and I'm walking by the sun and I'm not with my children, because I couldn't put their stuff in that bag. It would be destroyed. It was such a mistake. And when I got it home and saw this bag, it was another bag I bought before I'd ever tried. It's quite boxy. If you put a liner in it, it's quite boxy, and I didn't like that look. And when I got it home, I knew immediately I'd made a mistake. And because I knew immediately I made a mistake, I hated that bag. Hated it. Nothing to do with the bag. I just hated it because I knew I had got it wrong. And I knew it was Chanel prices. I knew I'd spent a lot of money on it. And it hung on my wardrobe. And it almost mocked me and called at me and joked at me about how ridiculous I was for buying that bag. Every time I looked at it, it really impacted me, that one. It was one that was one of the worst purchases ever, because I knew immediately I had got it so wrong. I did try to learn from that bag on buying completely from Instagram on impulse. If it's a style of bag you've never had before, or a shape of bag that you don't generally use, either outside of a specific reason or at all. And I did try to take lessons from it, but oh, that bag was painful. Number 3 was the Brea from Louis Vuitton in the beautiful Indian rose colour. I loved the colour of this bag. I absolutely loved it. But this bag was big, and it was structured, and it was vernis, which is patent leather, which gets lots of fingerprints on it. And I bought a crossbody strap for it that really didn't work. It was a big bag. I am 5'1". When I wore this bag crossbody, it was like this size, like from my neck to my knees. Maybe that's a slight exaggeration, but it was big. I wore it once for about an hour, because as soon as I brought it home, I realised, when am I going to wear this? This is not my style. It was structured, but not even structured like a little petite malle that you hold as a clutch. It was a big bag. It was made to be worn on your shoulder, and it kind of just was not for me. And I bought this bag. I didn't even consider another bag. We were in San Francisco having a fabulous time, walked into the store for that bag. Didn't take a moment, and I've talked about this in regret videos, didn't take a moment to try it on and think, oh, is this actually going to work? Am I actually going to wear this? Would this actually fit with my lifestyle? No. None of that sensible stuff. I just like it pretty. It's coming home with me. Huge mistake, and it was one of the worst purchases I ever made because instantly it didn't work. I wore it once for about an hour. I knew when I was wearing it, this doesn't work. I didn't enjoy using it, and it was a pink colour. Now, I love pink bags. That is not a problem for me. That is a problem when you go to sell your bag on. When you go to sell your bag on, unless it's a sought after pink colour that lots of people want, you need to wait till you find the person that wants that specific colour. And the Brea was not a popular style of bag. It wasn't like selling a pink classic flap or a pink Chanel mini or a pink Birkin. It was a very specific, limited audience type of bag. It was not popular. It was not one of those bags that had a lot of people wanting them or to wear them. So selling it was a nightmare. And I sold it for such a loss. I lost, I think from memory, probably like half of my money, if not more. And the bag was brand new. Brand freaking new. That one hurt. That still hurts because I love to buy on holiday. I love to bring home souvenir bags. And when you bring one home and it goes that wrong, no, not good. Number 4 was a Chanel Square Mini. And bear with me because normally a Chanel Mini is not a bag purchase around these parts. But the Square Mini doesn't work for me. And I bought the Square Mini because this little teal, see this little teal rectangle mini up here? That's what I wanted. That specific bag. But I couldn't find it. So I bought the Square. And I bought the Square in the quilting. I prefer the chevron. And I bought it in the silver hardware. I prefer the light gold. And I bought it in the Square. I much prefer the rectangle. The strap length on the Square I felt was just a little bit too short for me. It doesn't fit as much the Square. I also thought on my body shape, and we talked earlier on about feeling good in what you're wearing, and that doesn't matter about what people might objectively think of it. It's how you feel. So I had to feel good in what I was wearing, and the opposite to this was that when I put it on, I felt like the Square Mini was tiny on me. It was like this little pimple on my side and just put me very out of proportion. And I know I've got tiny bags, but for some reason this one I just didn't like the look of, and it was one of my worst purchases because I bought it at a time that I didn't really know what I was doing. I didn't really know how to research selling a bag. I didn't know anything about resale value. I sold it without using it, never used, for far less than I bought it for. Caviar Chanel Mini, lost a lot of money on it, and eventually went to buy the one I wanted anyway. So that was a terrible purchase. And the last bag, which must be the worst bag I have ever bought, was the Gucci Marmont velvet bag. If you've been around here for a while, I bought a beautiful deep purpley pink fuchsia coloured velvet Gucci Marmont from eBay. And I didn't get it authenticated when it arrived. eBay do have policies that are supposed to protect you, but I didn't get it authenticated. I never ever wore it. And when I went to consider selling it, I had always had this nagging, niggling doubt that I bought it on eBay and never had it independently authenticated. And when I did, it was a counterfeit. And I was pretty gutted. I couldn't believe I'd had a counterfeit the whole time. I felt, if I'm honest, foolish, stupid, failed, because I know better than that. I know better than to buy a luxury bag on eBay and not get it authenticated. I know better, and I felt really stupid and ridiculous and foolish, and it made me feel awful about myself and my choices and not being smart and doing what I know to do and just letting it stay there and not getting it checked. And then I also dealt with the fact that it was counterfeit. I don't buy counterfeits, that's my personal choice. So to have had one that I believed to be authentic felt like a betrayal. It felt like I'd been duped, probably worse than that. I'd also paid the price of an authentic Gucci Marmont bag. So I'd paid a lot of money for something that was counterfeit, and I lost all of that money obviously because I was well outside eBay's return policies, and it was just a disaster. Then I had the whole quarrel about what do I do with it, because I will not sell on or put out even to charity. I will not put back into the market a counterfeit bag in case this happens to somebody else. What do I do with it? It feels very wasteful. It was a real internal debate and struggle, and getting over the fact that I had been duped, getting over the fact of the money I'd lost. It had been there the whole time. It just was a terrible, terrible experience, and without a doubt, the worst handbag I have ever bought, and boy have I learnt lessons from that. Those are the 5 worst handbags I've ever bought. This was enjoyable and light-hearted, not. I hope it has given you some insight into some of these bags and my thinking. I hope it's been enjoyable. If you have enjoyed it in any way, please do consider giving it a thumbs up. Please do consider subscribing if you haven't yet. And if you're interested in checking out any of S.DEER's clothing, I will leave all of the links that you need down below in the description box. I will leave my code. And do check them out if you're looking at any of these pieces, because I think they're fab. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for watching me. Please take care, and I will see you again in the next one.